Hi, I'm Peter Kalos, and I want to welcome you to a series of short clips we'll be making to talk to you about acting. There's many reasons why I'm doing this, and it comes down to this. Many times I get a text message or a phone call or an email from someone, I don't even know these people, and they just say, hey Pete, I'm doing this thing, I want to come to your classes one day, can you give me an acting tip? And when I hear it, I almost cringe inside, because I try and explain to people acting tips mean nothing. The idea is I can give you all this information, I can give you all this knowledge and all these techniques about acting, but if you don't actually do them, they mean nothing. For you to sit here watching this video and get some information and go, oh my God, I've discovered all these amazing things. If you don't actually get out there and do them, then they're completely pointless to you. Think like an athlete. Athletes stretch, athletes train, athletes condition their body. That's how you got to think of as an actor, not just knowing the knowledge up here. The other thing I find that people do a lot of is they sit there and they say to me, well, I only do Lee's work, or I only do Stella's work, or I only do Meisner's work. And I say, forget all those things. Learn them all, have them in your body as ammunition, and then be ready to use them as needed. As I tell people, if I picked you up and dropped you in the middle of the ocean, you would start swimming based on the conditions in that moment. It's no good to think, well, I only do this. If it doesn't suit, you'll drown. And there's no need to bring sand to the beach. What I mean by that is this: if you're working with someone and you get along with them and you're playing two friends, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do all these things intellectually that you know as an actor, substitutions, this, that, the other. If it's there, do nothing. It takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of trust in your own work when to do these things. So I tell people, learn all the ingredients, learn all the tools, no matter who they're from, and don't just know them intellectually. You have to actually have done them to understand your own body and your own instrument. And you're going to hear a lot of actors and acting teachers talk about that word instrument, instrument, instrument. And it is an instrument. It's not a machine. This is a body. It needs acting muscle to be stretched consistently. First thing I'll ask you to do, you must have a place to work. If you don't have a place to work, you will never work. You need to have a place at home. And it's kind of a weird thing to do because, you know, we're not used to living with actors. If you're living with mom and dad, or if you're living with a roommate or whatever it is, people hear you do your exercises and they go, what's he doing? And I tell people, it's no one's business. Claim your space. Go there, turn up, have a place in your living room, have a place in your bedroom, and say, this is my place. When I'm here to work. You must find a place first. The other thing I tell people to do is to find a schedule. Now, most of you have a calendar. I'm an old person in respect. I use old calendars. Let's assume this was a calendar. And I really want you to do this. I don't care if you use a calendar on your phone. I don't care if you use a calendar on a book or whatever calendar you use. I want you to start day one, Monday. Today, just by chance, happens to be the first of the month. If you spend today an hour on your acting, put down 1 hour. It looks like this. This is day one. Tomorrow you wake up, you have breakfast, you do something, and then you do something else, and you go to your day job, you come home, you're tired, you do nothing for your acting. There's a big fat zero right there. And then by the third day of the week, you might watch a film. We'll give you a little bit of credit for watching a film. We don't have to, but we'll give you an hour or two. So you do 2 hours there. Then comes Thursday, and there's a good chance you're very busy Thursday, so you do a 0. And then it's Friday, it's the end of the week, you do another 0. And then Saturday, Sunday, you're a very busy person, you got a job, you got a life, 0, 0. You've spent 3 hours that week on your acting. So now next week, it's a 0 for Monday, it's a 4-hour class that you go to on a Tuesday, and then it's 0, 0, 0, and we'll give you 2 hours just to be polite. And now you've done 6 hours that week. By the end of the month, I want you to add up all your hours. There's a very, very, very good chance that we'll say you average 4 hours a week. That's 16 hours. If that's what you're doing for your career, then you should quit. And I mean that honestly. 4 hours a week is nothing. And people tell me, I love my acting, I'm so passionate about my acting. And I go, yeah, stop talking about it. Are you doing it? What are you doing for your acting? Not talking, not justifying, and we have one trap, this. We get online and we might read an inspirational quote and discover, oh my God, and we feel like we've done something for our acting. You've done zero for your acting if you don't get up and do something for the body to stretch it. I need you to understand that. And I tell people this, if I ask you to do 1 hour a day, people might sustain that for about a week. A month is difficult to sustain. You don't have that habit. So I say, great, how about we aim for 3 hours a day? And people go, oh, I don't have time for 3 hours a day. Are you kidding me? But you love your acting. But you can't spend 3 hours a day on it. And I tell them, let's assume I'm your day boss. I'm your boss at work. And I say, guess what? For whatever reason, we have this job, whatever you're doing, and we need an extra hour a day from you. That's 7 hours a week. You will give it to them without even thinking. Because if you don't give it to them, you'll get fired. There's an immediate response to not dedicating that extra hour. When you don't give those hours to that week to your acting, there's no immediate response. There's no consequences to not dedicating to your art. But I call it what they call a silence response. You don't end up having a career. That's the response. The phone doesn't ring. That weekly habit becomes a month, becomes a year, and then becomes years. And before you know it, you say to people, I'm an actor. And we go, are you really an actor? What have you done for your acting? So to sit there and watch these videos for whatever long they are, it's absolutely pointless if you don't have a commitment to get up off your butt and do some work. You need a space, mandatory, somewhere. If you can't find a place, go to your friend's house, go somewhere. But find a place that when you sit there, there's no distractions, and you need a schedule. 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day is doable. And I used to have a friend of mine, he's Thomas Jane. He's a wonderful actor. He was in The Punisher. And we used to be in class together. Tom would always, every night, sit there doing something. He would do some monologues. He would do something. He had acting books everywhere. He would actually read them. God forbid you read an acting book. So I want you to think like that. I want you to give yourself 3 hours a day, and don't go to bed until you've done those 3 hours a day. Don't go to bed exhausted. You need a space, you need a calendar that you must commit to. Put some music on in the background. It's okay if it's the same piece of music. That does two things. First of all, when you hear that piece of music, your brain goes, okay, I'm here to work. It's work time now. There's no playing around. And also, because we do a lot of weird stuff with acting, you don't want your people in the other rest of the house, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you go, no. It's not open for discussion. When you go in your room, you close the door, put the music on, background music, no words, get in that frame of mind, create your space, have some silence, get rid of all this. If the phone rings, it doesn't matter, it's okay. And get ready to work. People say, I don't know what to do. These are just some ideas, and we'll talk about this at length as we go. Read a play. Actually read a play. I know people that average 20 to 30 plays a month. These are real people. And when I tell you these things, I tell you for one reason. That's your competition. Read a play. Do some relaxation. Do some sensory work, which we'll talk about very soon. Do some character work. You have great ideas about character work. People go, I want to do this. Great, do it. Do it. And then read a script the next day. Download them, they're free. Read a script so you understand what a script looks like. So when you read a good script, you understand the difference between a bad script. All these things take time and they take commitment. And I want you to understand how much time they take. I've given 2 examples to people. And I want you, the big picture to all this is so you understand how far or how close you are to the reality of your career. Because it's not good enough to just say I'm an actor. I want you to get to the truth and say, this is the reality of my career. And if I don't change the way and I work right now, and I don't change my habits, it ain't gonna get better. Most people think, I'll get an agent, I'll get a headshot, and I'll wait by the phone. If that's how you're thinking, you may as well quit. I want you to understand this. I've read somewhere, I think it was like 5,000 people turn up in LA a day. That's your competition. And you have to be better than them. Here's how much work it takes, and I hope you understand this. I told a writer friend of mine one day, I said, I want you to take all of Shakespeare's work and just copy it. That's all you have to do. And I told a singer friend of mine, I want you to take all of the work of the Beatles and just write it down. You're not inventing it, you're not creating it. That takes a lot of time just to copy, pen to paper. And people go, that will take forever. I go, that's the point. It takes forever to come up with that work. It takes forever to get your acting in gear. So I want you to find a place. I want you to force yourself to find time. And if you miss one time from Monday, make it up on a Tuesday. Don't go out till you finish working. Don't start cutting corners. Oh, today I'm tired. Oh, tomorrow I'm tired. This is the Olympics every day. You don't know when you're gonna get an audition. You don't know when someone's gonna call you up and say, hey, I'm ready for you. If you're out of shape physically, then you have nothing to go by. You can't catch up. I always tell people call me up and say, can I do private lessons? And I go, no, what's the point? If you can lift right now 50 pounds, I can't make you lift 100 pounds in half an hour. Your body is out of shape. You need to understand that as an actor. If you're out of shape, if you're giving me that much, it's not going to go to this much in half an hour. It takes a lot of work, a lot of growth to get to this much. So the idea is that you have a space ready to work, you have a commitment ready to work, and then you will see growth. That's what the purpose is of all these videos. So you get out there and you actually take charge of your own career.